what does it seem like? You know, have you guys gotten closer, or does it feel like you're still chasing her? You know, and what we mean by chasing her is you're still basically trying to get her to like you, or trying to get her to like you more. What up, what up, what up? What's happening? Que lo que mi gente. Welcome to Love, Purpose, and Passports. Hope all is well and all are passport ready, a passport getting ready. For those of you that don't know, I am Mr. Pro for you, living in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, with this beautiful little fire red flame of tropical goodness over here. Wow. Just freestyling. Just brought it out, looked over there and just, wow. Miss Pro for you.
Hello, and how you doing, everybody? Hi.
So how you doing today, Miss Pro?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much for asking.
I am so glad to be here today.
I am feeling tropical.
Yeah, I just stopped and didn't, I thought we were just there already. I'm like, I didn't even introduce her yet. I just stalled.
So cute. He's so cute.
So we got a good video for them today, don't we?
We do, mi amor, we do.
So the last video we did about relationships was about the dating phase.
Yeah.
This time, we want to add something that's important to the journey, which is knowing if she really likes you.
Yeah, we get a lot of comments and questions from guys saying that they're having trouble knowing really if she really likes you or not. And I mean, nobody wants to waste their time with someone who doesn't really like them. So.
They don't. And we know when that happens, it usually means she's acting like she likes you to try to use you for what she can get. So, how do you know if this little beautiful Dominicana or anywhere, in the world, these places, guys visit and come through and see these little beautiful young ladies. How do you know if she really likes you?
Bueno, before we even get to that point, right? We want to say that we really enjoy doing the dating video because it allowed us to simplify and make easy something that has become overly complicated just in the dating field in general. And we kind of wanted to do the same thing with this.
Exactly. First, when it comes to finding out if she really likes you, before we go any further, let's bring liking you down to earth. Her liking you when she first meets you, and her liking you 6 months later, then liking you maybe a year down the line, they're all different.
Completely. So the first phase that we are going to talk to you about is when you just meet. So
when you first meet, it's okay to assume that you like each other.
Okay.
At this point, you just met. So remember, we were just talking about dating and how in the beginning it should be fun with nothing serious attached.
Right. This is similar, if not exactly the same thing, right? As long as it feels like she likes you and you're enjoying yourself, well, have fun with it.
Have fun with it. Go with it.
Yeah.
And for you relationship guys, our guys, just go with it does not mean to fall in love. Because sometimes, when we say just go with it, or somebody feel like, well, I'm just going to go with the flow or whatever. Sometimes you kind of just, you go with the flow and go way out with the flow. And next thing, there's a little bit of an issue.
You flow too far, man. You flow too far.
This is just fun. It's just fun. This is just seeing, you just kind of going with it, nothing serious or anything. Same thing as the dating phase. This is the same thing. This is the just met phase. Nothing serious. Don't let it get too serious. But the thing is, finding out if she really likes you, like we said, it's on the same trajectory as dating. If she's faking it, and that's important, right? It's not important right now. You just met. It doesn't even matter if you guys are doing the same things that people do who really like each other. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're doing those same things that you're doing, like then don't worry about that. And what I mean by it doesn't matter, guess why it doesn't matter?
Why?
Because you just met her. You won't know anyway.
I have something to add. So when we first met, we met online. And when we first met, I thought he was gorgeous. I talk about this all the time, but the very first picture that I saw of him, he looked like this adorable college student. He had on like this a shirt, and it was a button shirt, and he had on like a little tie, and he had this gorgeous smile. So cute, you know. And our very first conversations were just like light and fun, and just kind of asking each other questions to kind of get to know each other and the life you live and the country you're at and the city where you're at, just like kind of superficial stuff. And those are the little things that spark curiosity. You know, they make you want to know more about someone. So start there.
Exactly. And you see, I wasn't worried about whether she was faking or not, because we were doing the things that you do when you really like each other. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you just go with the flow. You know? And so, again, so it doesn't sound so one-sided when I say it doesn't matter. She doesn't really know if you really like her either. So think of it like that. You guys are both, this is just the beginning, you know? Right?
Yeah.
Everything takes simple. A chance. You know what I'm saying? There's always a chance in the beginning. It's no big chance. You know, just don't throw your whole heart into it. You know what I mean? You can be sincere. You know, she was sincere. I was sincere, and we just moved through the stages, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you just get to know each other. It's pretty exciting when you just get to know each other, especially when you look, you're like, man, I like this right here. You know what I mean? So, obviously, the only reason, and as far as talking about, you know, someone faking is, like I said, you have to worry about that. Only reason she would be faking is she's hoping that you fall in love and that you start issuing out your valuables. But we already talked about that, didn't we, fellas? We're not easy men. A lot of you get here or you meet these women online and you're showing them that you're easy men. What's an easy man? It's an old term. You're being easy. You're giving up your goods to someone for just being nice to you. And being an easy man feels good at first. She's showing interest in you and so much appreciation. The truth is, she isn't showing interest in you or appreciation towards you. It just feels like it to you. It's that packaging. You know, good men, not easy men. So we know that you're not going to do that, right? Right.
So let's break this down a little bit further, okay? So there are 4 options, okay? The first option is she really likes you. The second option is she is open to really liking you, right? Then the next option is she doesn't really like you. And then the last option is she likes you, but she's starting to like you less.
What? It happens sometimes. But think about this. 3 out of 4 of those possibilities are based on just honesty. You know what I'm saying? Those are honest things that can happen. There's only 1 out of 4 of those outcomes that could be highly deceptive. So those odds aren't bad. It's like a 25% chance that, you know, well, she doesn't really like me. And a 75% chance that, you know, she likes you. You know, if she didn't like, you know, there's a lot of good. There's more upside than downside when you first meet her and you're trying to figure out if she likes you or not. Right?
Those stages are actually pretty normal.
They are.
Right? And maybe 2 of them might, I don't know, hurt your feelings a little bit, but it's nothing that's like gonna end your life or ruin you. It's just like, oh, well, okay, next person.
Yeah. You know, but the thing is, even the last one, she likes you, but she's starting to like you less. Man, like can fluctuate for a minute. Oh, she's, you know, you just met. You may start liking her a little less.
Exactly.
Then you find out it was just a bad week. You know what I mean? Or it was a bad 2 weeks or something. You just don't know. You just met each other. The only thing you're concerned about is her faking, and trying to play you like she likes you and she never liked you.
Right.
That's the only one. Everything else is good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't worry about that. Mm-hmm. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah.
This is in the same trajectory as dating. Are you enjoying yourself? Enjoy yourself.
I enjoyed myself.
I enjoy myself. I still enjoy myself all the time. Look, just keep enjoying yourself as long as you can. You know what I mean? You shouldn't even be throwing your heart into this yet in the beginning. You gotta learn how to enjoy these moments as you go. Because I think that's where a lot of trouble starts, where you might come in worried about, man, I wonder if she really likes me. She's trying to play me. You hear, it's kind of hard because you hear so much negativity that you kind of expect it sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's something that really is ruining situations where sometimes you crash your own car.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't even be worried about whether she likes you or not if you're enjoying yourself. Not yet. Not when you first meet her, because when you first meet, that's when you're trying to make each other like each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the first stage of meeting her turns out to be not so difficult when you just keep it super simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is where you stay cool, where you kind of enjoy yourself, like he says, and that way what kind of options or what kind of choices you have, with her. You're just enjoying those moments. That's really all that you're supposed to be thinking about.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, this is just like the last one. This is the same as dating, because in the beginning, you wondered if she likes you. Look, you're both doing the mating dance and the liking dance. You don't have time to be worried about if she really likes me or not, especially if she's not giving you signs that she doesn't really like you.
And frankly, keep it cool, right? We like it when you guys are cool.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of like that. That was one of those things that I liked about him when we first met.
Mm-hmm.
He was just so cool and just, I don't know, everything was real easy going with him.
Mm-hmm.
Easy going just made it fun,
Yep.
So just keep it cool. Keep
Yep.
it easy going, keep it fun. She's going to appreciate it. I know I do. Great time. We still have great times.
Yes, we do. Hey.
I didn't mean to say that. It just came out.
I'm like, she's getting loose now.
I didn't mean to say that. Delete that. Don't add that. Thank you. So the next phase is 4 to 6 months later.
4 to 6 months later, you guys still making it happen or what? Trying to do that thing, huh? Now we getting somewhere. So I think at this point is where it really matters that if she really likes you or not.
Yeah.
The last one we were talking about, it doesn't matter. Just ride it out. But when you're talking about 4 to 6 months later, and the reason we say 4 to 6 months is people move at different speeds. Relationships move at different speeds. But it's 6 months later. Sometimes 4 months can be really fast depending on, how things flow. So 4 to 6 months, but you should know if it's important at this stage though, because we're talking about a half a year in almost. And so at this point, you got to ask yourself, what does it seem like? Have you guys gotten closer, or does it feel like you're still chasing her?
Yeah.
And what we mean by chasing her is you're still basically trying to get her to like you, or trying to get her to like you more. That's what still chasing her means. Because if you're chasing her, it still feels like she's not quite there yet, or interest isn't quite all the way on you, or you just feel like I'm gonna still get her this time. What do you think about that?
Well, at this point, your relationship should already have some sort of a routine. At this point in the relationship, you guys should speak to each other consistently. You should kind of already know the routine of her life. She should kind of know the routine of your life.
Yep.
Even if they don't know all the details, you kind of get a general idea of who this person is, how they spend their day. And, they've spoken to you about family members and stuff. This should be one of those things where you're now is when you're really part of their routine, so to speak, of their everyday.
Yeah.
When we were at that point, we had not at the very beginning, but then later on it just kind of developed where like my lunchtime, we spend lunch together.
Yeah.
And it became like part of a routine. Now we're spending this time together. Now we're spending this time. And now we're spending, and before you know it, we have like this routine of how we're like spending time together. So,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship should be growing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everybody's thing moves at a different speed.
Sure.
And it moves at a different pace. And, that's why we're talking the 4 to 6 month range. Maybe it'll be 7 to 8 month range. We don't know. But this is where you got to start asking, does it seem like she really likes me like that? Is she really like into me? You know what I mean? Because if you don't ask at this point, now you're just assuming, and then you ain't realized that internally you're still chasing her. You shouldn't be chasing her 4 to 6 months down the line, especially if you really like her and you been dealing with each other as if you like each other the same.
Mm-hmm. And here's another question that you should be asking yourself. Does she seem excited about you? Right? Does she seem excited you called her? Mm-hmm. Does she rush to call you back? Right?
Exactly. Does she try to talk to you when she's doing things around the house? I mean, a lot of us know this now, you know what I mean? It's like, this is the video chat days. This is that going live, you know what I mean? Where she's around the house and you guys are talking to each other and she's doing something, or maybe you doing something in the house, or did she get off the phone with you to do things that maybe she could have stayed on the phone with you and did, and this isn't really about you trying to make her stay on the phone, but it should just flow naturally that she's setting up the phone to do things and you got your phone set up, to do things, and maybe you just watching her do things, whatever. It should be pretty normal, right?
Yeah. And a point that I made about, is she excited when you call her? Mm-hmm. I remember that, I kind of knew when he was going to call me, and I knew he was going to call me in a little while. I'm like, I gotta get cute. Let me fix my hair. Let me do my makeup. Let me get myself together. And, I kind of like get myself together. And then the phone would ring and I would run to the phone and try to act all cool. Be like, not knowing the frenzy that just happened like 2 minutes later for me to get cute for him. So, these are kind of things that girls do because that's what girls do when they like someone. When
they're excited. Yeah. Should be excited. I mean, I know you're excited to talk to her. She should be excited to talk to you. And one of the things also was that she rushed to call you back. And I'm not saying like all the time, but I'm just saying like, do you feel like, yeah, she likes me? You know what I'm saying? She's acting like she likes you, because these are the things that are important. You don't want to, sometimes you get caught up in just, going through the motions of talking to her and you enjoying it so much, but you have to take the time to pinpoint, is she showing you that she likes you as much as you like her?
Yeah.
That's important. You know what I mean? Because, if 6 months down the line, you're still trying to get her to like you, then she doesn't. You got to be, straight out with that. And you got to tell yourself that so that you don't end up, getting further and further in a hole. It's got to be reciprocal, So, what do you think, beautiful lady?
Well, here's another question that you should ask yourself when trying to determine if she really likes you. Does when you and her speak, right? Does her conversation always seem like there's something like wrong with her life because you're not there, and that's why she can't wait until you like get there? And I mean, is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's a good one. And I say this is a dangerous situation because it's very easy to not realize that the conversation isn't really getting deeper between you two, but it's more of a like, you're talking to her and she knows you care about her. So she's kind of low key, always telling you about things aren't really good, more like, probably these things aren't so good here and this. And so when you get used to it, like, I know, baby, it's going to be all right. And, you know, I'll be there soon. And it's easy to get caught up in that because you will be there soon. And it feels good that she feels good about you being there soon. But that conversation is dangerous because she shouldn't be talking to you about her life dragging every day. Because when that's happening, it's hiding that real conversation isn't happening. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, things can happen here. Cars break down, you know, things need servicing and all that. But ain't nobody depressed every day because that's pretty normal that things happen. And it's very easy to drag you into that because she's pulling at your heartstrings when she does that because you really like her. And that's why I say it's very dangerous because you feel like she needs you. You know what I'm saying? And you feel like she needs you in a loving way. Like, I can't wait till you get here, which that conversation by itself is not bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've missed each other and we've been through the can't wait to see you conversations, but there's another conversation that happens that puts you in hero mode. You know what I mean? Captain Save 'em mode. Captain Save 'em mode. Nah, but seriously, be careful of that. You know what I mean? And like I said, things happen here. Eventually she's gonna need you for something, especially if you're in a relationship with her. Things happen, things break down here all the time. That is normal. But when we're talking about you trying to be sure that she likes you, this is a thing where I say it's dangerous because you feel needed and it's very easy for them to use you like that. So just be careful.
We've seen that happen.
Yes.
To very close people that we care about.
Yeah.
So we've definitely seen that happen.
Yeah.
So here's another thing for you to think about. Has it felt like she's attracted to you? Does she ever compliment you? That's something for you to think about.
It is.
Right?
And here's the thing. Attraction doesn't always mean, you know, you're as handsome as I am. I'm a little handsome around here.
Gorgeous.
I'm just joking. You know, she thinks I'm handsome.
I do.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time.
Yeah.
I do.
But here's the thing. She can be attracted. It's about attraction, you know, and about, is she letting you know she's attracted to you? She could be attracted to your personality.
Right.
She could be attracted to the way you think. She can be attracted to the, you know, how you carry it, how you live, you know. But the thing is, does she act like she's attracted to you? You know, because she should. And you should always know, like, man, she likes when I do this or she likes when I do that because, you know, when I tell jokes, she laughs so loud. You know what I mean? Like, you know, y'all see me over here. Y'all know I'm attracted to this right here, but you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, y'all probably think I just do this on camera.
No.
This is the least.
All day, every day. We tone it down on camera.
This is the least.
We tone it down on camera.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, you know, I talk about liking what I see so much that she's used to it. You know, I don't necessarily say it for her anymore, you know, all the time. I say it for me. Like, damn.
Well, I compliment him all the time too.
She
all
does.
the time. Like, so when before we even turned the camera on, I was like, boy, you look so nice and white. I love the way it looks against your complexion. And we always have that conversation. I'm always telling him things that I like about him and things that he does that I like all the time.
Yep.
Because I want him to keep doing it.
Yep.
No, but seriously, we compliment each other all the time. He knows that I'm attracted to him.
I do. And she knows that I'm attracted to her. And like I said, I say it so much that most of the time it's for me, it's just an expression, you know, and I see it, it just wells up inside of me and comes out. But then there's the times that she wants me to be attracted to and want me to say, you know, I was like, oh, that looks nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it goes, you know, but really, we laugh and we smile about this because we know we like each other. We know we like how each other looks and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I try not to look over here as much as I want to. I want to look over there more. You know what I'm saying? But
so cute.
I'll wait.
It's
but
so cute.
Look, man, I don't care if she's shy. You need to know that she's attracted to you. You see what I'm saying? Because that's part of knowing that she likes you. We're using this word like, which is, sometimes it can seem like an elementary word, but liking you is important because that just means that she has a sincere feeling towards you.
I was going to add something to knowing how she likes you or is attracted to you. Because you said that sometimes she could be a shy girl. Even shy girls express that they like you and they're attracted to you in a different way. Yep. By the way they look at you, by the way they react to certain things. Mm-hmm. Like, let's say that you're doing something that she likes or that impresses her. Her eyes are going to open up, or she's going to say, or she's going to,
she may cover her mouth and giggle or something.
Little things like that are the same thing as her paying you a verbal compliment. And even if there's like a language, maybe a barrier there, you can clearly tell by the way she expresses, or her body movement, or her facial expressions. You can clearly tell she, just, the way she, her posture, the way she positions things. My husband says I chirp because I go, ooh, or I make little noises, I chirp. The way she chirps, all of that is included. So she doesn't have to necessarily just say. Yeah,
she don't have to be like, damn, I like that.
I don't think
she had to say that, but
I don't think anybody's gonna say that.
Oh, there's some chicks that say that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some chicks out there that there's some chicks that really go, they'll let you know. I ain't gonna name no cities, but fellas, I know y'all know there's some chicks that they get down. They let you know. But no, seriously, fellas, don't miss this part, because a lot of times, here's what really happens in real time. I know you're attracted to her. She knows you're attracted to her. And a lot of times you're lost in, I like the lost in the sauce. You're lost in that sauce where you're always expressing, that you like what you see and that you really like her and stuff. But she needs to let you know that she's attracted to you some way, somehow, regularly. That by the time you're 6 months down the line, you kind of know these things.
Women that are ladylike or kind of sweet, just polite, won't always just say things, but she'll look at you, and if you're wearing something she'll look at you, kind of like that's a compliment too. Just her, watch her body language around you. That's another way for you to know if she likes you. That's a way to pay a compliment.
And like I said, when you're talking to her, when you call her, you can see excitement. You can see when she's excited to see you. You can see when she couldn't wait for you. All of these things, you'll know. But sometimes you're just not paying attention to that. Yeah. Because you're more paying attention to how you feel and, what you want to happen. And, all of these things, you're kind of like lost in what you're doing, and you're really, minimizing the importance of seeing how she feels about you and understanding it. Like she said, even if there's a bit of a language barrier, it doesn't matter. Knowing that somebody's attracted to you, that's the same language across the board. Yeah. You see it, you feel it, you're noticing it, but you have to specifically take note of that, because that way later on you won't be like, man, she, you need to be sure, especially at this stage. At the first stage, remember we said at the first stage, it doesn't matter. This stage right here, you 6 months in, you need to know. And especially here's the thing, especially if you really feel like you like her, or you really feel like this is something you want to go somewhere. Like we said, we talking to the relationship homies, you know what I'm saying? Our dudes, you know what I'm saying? These are our peoples. You need to know.
So here's another thing that you should kind of ask yourself at this phase in the relationship to understand whether she likes you, right? When you're coming to visit her, what does she do on her own to get ready for you?
Exactly. You know, and the things you give her money to do don't count. You know, and what we mean by that is she knows you're getting ready to come out there. What is she doing to get ready for you to come out there?
Well, I remember kind of had like a little routine whenever he would come to visit. First of all, the house has to be spotless clean. Make sure that, you know, there's food and groceries and stuff in the refrigerator. And just, you know, making myself look cute or whatever, the hair and the nails.
Going to get her hair done.
Yeah, that's the norm. But I know that he liked a specific type of tequila. And I mean, I don't know that much about tequila. So sometimes when I would go to one of those drinks places, I would go and I would just send him a message and be like, look, this is everything that they have here. Patron, you hate Patron. Okay, so they have Herradura, Añejo. I don't see anything else in here. They have El Jimador Reposado. That's not what you wanted. I don't even know what that is. And that's it. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I know that this bottle looks familiar and this bottle looks familiar and this is what they have. And, you know, we kind of have a conversation so I could make sure that, like, he had like a nice little drink when he got here. And sometimes I get him cigars. I remember I used to get him cigars.
She sure did.
Es más fuerte, es más suave, en qué posible
I remember that. So I kind of have like something ready for him for when he got here, so we can have a really nice time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, look, fellas, this is important. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the things that you guys are saying happen, they wouldn't happen if some of these other checkpoints were acknowledged. You know, where you recognize like, okay, this is happening or this isn't happening.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
This is a blueprint.
You know, you have to be sure. You know what I mean? Because when you're not sure, that means that you're just assuming that she's, you know, on point as she should be, you know, and she can't be playing. She ain't no playing dumb. You know, every woman knows how to show a man that she's into him.
Yeah.
You know, she can get creative on the things that she does. She may not be able to afford to get the bottle of Don Julio, but she can get something and she can do something. She can prepare something. She might even have, you know, who knows, have her family have a get together for you when you get there.
Well, I know that he really liked homemade empanadas. So I know that I would have the empanadas kind of ready and made. So then when he got there, all I had to do was fry it. So that's something that I know he liked. Yep.
So, you know, she got to do something to show you, you know, and like I said, a lot of these things happen because you're so into your side of things, and she's just on the receiving end, and you're happy for her to receive because you're feeling like she's really there for you, that she really likes you.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't assume nothing. You know, and here's the thing. We didn't used to have this conversation, but this is something that has been happening more and more these days. You know what I'm saying? And which means that there's a disconnect somewhere. You know, it doesn't mean one side is getting worse or one side is getting more naive. It just means there's a disconnect, and maybe information hasn't been passed on as it should. You know, a lot of times, you know, we get to these places and people like us will talk about, you know, how genuine it is and how good it is, and you know, you'll meet you a young lady and it's gonna happen. All of that is true, but sometimes when we leave out the time periods, just like when we did the video saying that, you know, this took time for us. What was that called? I think it was called this relationship took time or something. We said, you know what? We didn't tell you how long.
It seem easy for you or something like that.
It was something, but what we realized was
misled you or something.
Yeah, we were saying that, but we really didn't mislead you. But you could have took what we were saying wrong when we keep out the part that we've been doing this for years. You see what I'm saying? It didn't just wake up one day, meet, and then we were like this. No, we went through all the phases. So we're just telling you that be aware of these things, because I found someone genuine, she found someone genuine. So we didn't go through the deception and, oh, she was just using me and all of that. But, there's a way to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
You said something really interesting. You said that, you didn't used to have these conversations before, and now that the information is out there, there's some parts that are missing. Mm-hmm. And I like to add to that. I think that the information that is out there is like at two extremes.
Yeah, that's right? Why. That's it.
Or it's you have to be super overly, loving and intentional, and I'm going to get this, and you have to be super, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get a woman, and that's all I'm thinking about.
Yep.
And you go so intense about it that you maybe forget all the other little things that you need to be thinking about. Or you go the other route where you're just like, this is never going to happen. And every woman is out for money. And even if you get married, it's all about money. And, then I hear you talk about all these frutas and calling women all of these strange vegetables and tropical fruits. And, it's just so extreme on the both ends.
It is.
And then the common sense conversation, nobody ever has.
No. They don't. And like we said, the real relationships, they don't get as many views. They're not as exciting. No. You know what I mean? It's more like, we tired of looking at them. They've been together, and it's not a different chick, on here with a different story every time or nothing like that. And so those are the stories that get the most views. Those are the stories that people tend to gravitate toward to hear the advice from those stories and stuff, but those are always extreme situations and complex situations where people have lost the instructions to the simple things. And that's what we're trying to do now, is bring you back to how to just go through it simply, but wisely. Simple with your eyes open. You know what I mean? The store is right there, but be simple. Look.
How do you keep doing that? God, it's like rude.
So it's like the store is right there, but it's across the main street. You got to walk across the street. You got to look both ways before you cross. You got to wait till the light turns green before you walk across. But it's actually just right there. Nothing extreme. Everybody else will be talking about all the accidents that happened and somebody got robbed and we took, somebody snatched somebody in the car and all of those things. But no, we're going to start breaking these things down and making them a little easier. And especially when we put times to them, it'll make it simpler, because a lot of women are being marked as bad as a whole, when really things could have never got that bad if somebody just looked both ways before they crossed the street. You know what I'm saying? You would have got hit by that car. You see what I'm saying? So we just show you how to take this thing slowly and enjoy yourself slowly with your eyes open.
The next phase is 1 year or more later. Okay, so by now you're in a groove, right? You should already know if she's still into you like she was in the beginning, right? This is where you should be at right now.
Exactly. Come on. We're talking about a year in, a year or so in. Things should have been, you guys should be, talking to each other all the time, talking to it, you talk to each other every day.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if that seems extreme to you guys about talking to somebody every day, but it shouldn't be, especially when it's a long distance relationship. And that was our journey. So sometimes when we're talking to you, that's where we mention about you guys being on the phone, you guys being on video chat, you guys going live.
We've been there.
Yeah, that was our journey. So, a year in, she should still be into you, and you should be aware that she's still into you, but at this point, her feelings for you have either grown stronger, or that fourth option where she liked you, but not quite so much, they've either grown stronger or they've grown weaker. Can she still be faking a year in? Yes. But stop letting these guys convince you that you're some kind of helpless victim. You're not. You have all your senses intact. Nobody should be able to trick you for a year. All these things we were talking about she should be doing, she's not going to be doing all of those things if she doesn't really like you. It's just not, it's impossible to keep that act up all that time.
Right.
Without you feeling like something is off. A lot of times when guys get played, and I hate to talk about this damn long game thing, but okay, I'll say it, the long game. That can only happen if you sleep at the wheel. You know what I mean? You ain't fully awake when that happens, or you're very, very naive.
No woman with those intentions is going to continue the game for such a long time if she's not getting something out of it.
Right.
Like, nobody's going to continue a con with like no
return
benefit. Yeah, for that long.
We're talking about you guys talking every day. We're talking about, her complimenting you all the time. If she's doing all that and you not making it rain, she's not going to be doing all that.
Making it rain.
Shouldn't be making it rain. You know what I mean? Maybe a little drizzle every now and then. You know what I mean? Every now and again, it might storm every now and then, but not to the level of what these women that will use you like that want.
Right.
Their eyes on the big prize. And if you're not providing that big prize, they're not going to keep up with that.
Women normally that are out for the big prize have other big prizes that they're chasing too. Mm-hmm. So like, if you're one of her big prizes and she has a bunch of other big prizes, she can't dedicate the time that it would take to maintain a relationship, and you're not giving her anything. She's going to be like, I'm dedicating all this time for this prize. I'm not getting any benefits. Yep. I'm neglecting all the other prizes that are more of a benefit.
Has her eye on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
You can kind of see.
Look, if she's still playing you a year in, then you haven't been questioning anything. You just going with the flow. You know what I mean? And you can be enjoying yourself going with the flow. But the problem is you guys go with the flow, and then when it goes left, then you be hurt and mad. See, if you wasn't hurt and mad afterwards, then you just be that type of player. You see what I'm saying? Where, look, I was doing me, she doing okay, now it ends. But because you guys feel deceived and hurt and angry, at these women for doing that, look, there's no way that if you're awake and being aware of what you're doing and how you're doing it, that you can be played for something that you take a big loss over in a year. You know what I'm saying? And again, she can't keep up all that. She can't keep up all that. The things we're talking about can only be kept up by someone genuine. I don't care what none of these guys say. It won't happen like that. Now, this is something that can make it seem like it, that maybe a year later she don't like you as much no more and decides to keep on going with you. But what is she getting out of that?
Right.
Are you guys still be giving them something? And you got some kind of instinct. You know what I mean? We're not talking to 15 and 16-year-olds. You know, we're not talking to even 17, 18, 19-year-olds. You know, a lot of us, you know, guys in their 30s and 40s and 50s. You see what I'm saying? And so don't be blinded by the booty a year in. You still like it, you know, but come on. You're not a victim. You know, I ain't blinded by it. I see that thing clearly. I don't know if we talked about that she could genuinely, over time, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but genuinely over time start not liking you as much.
Sure, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
That's a possibility.
you can stop not liking her as much over time.
Exactly. And that's a possibility too.
That's not being played.
No, that's completely normal in a relationship.
Yep.
Not every relationship is a forever relationship.
It's not, you know. And so we have to sometimes, you know, we got to separate some of these stories sometimes. We got to separate wanting to say, oh, I told y'all they was like that, when really she wasn't feeling you like that anymore. There's always a chance that you're not feeling her like that anymore. But we never hear those stories. You know what I'm saying? Because the guys who ain't feeling them no more, who make a move, who move on, we don't hear that. We don't hear that part. You know, he's just a player and he's playing on. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the guys that when she doesn't really feel you like that anymore, there's always some kind of story attached to it. Everything isn't, you know, a big conspiracy, you know, some hatched plot. You know, it sucks that it happens if you're on the receiving end of someone you like not liking you anymore. Yeah. But guess what? She wasn't the last woman out there.
At all.
Yeah, and she wasn't even for you if she stopped liking you.
Right.
We want to keep somebody around who doesn't really like you, and that's what we try to prevent anyway. You know, so if you find out she doesn't like you that much anymore, or if she starts acting like it, that's no harm, no foul. Good. Because we're trying to, this whole video, the purpose of this is to keep you from getting mixed up with the ones that are acting like they like you and don't like you. Is she acting like she ain't really like you that much, man? Bye-bye.
So we've been discussing this whole time how to know if she really likes you. But another thing that's important to identify is what she likes about you.
Exactly. This is similar to what we mentioned before, but the context is a little different. She needs to like you and be attracted to you for the right things. Being attracted to you for a fantasy in her mind isn't the right thing. And let me clarify what that means. She could be liking you because she feels like her life is going to be different in the future. Whether that's, you know, moving with you wherever you live, or whether that's just because you have the means for her life to be different later on. Now, that's not good enough a reason for you to think that she likes you. And here's what some of you will say. Well, all women like you for what you can do for them and for how their life will be better. That's halfway true. That's not the only thing. You know what I'm saying? If a woman likes you because her life can be better, moving on into the future, fine. But if that's the only thing she likes about you, that's a problem. You see what I'm saying? Because she can like you because it feels like her life is going to be different, but she also likes your personality. She also thinks you're handsome. She also thinks you're wise. She also, you know, likes the way you come through, you know what I'm saying? And all of that. Mm-hmm. Come through my eyes. She'll be like, oh, I like the way you come through like that.
I do. You know, she needs to be attracted to the traits that you possess in order to like you for the right reasons.
Yep.
You know, it has to be things like your confidence, your strength, your character, your intellect, your humor, your accomplishments, how you carry yourself.
Mhm.
You can't just assume these things. It has to be something that you know for a fact that she likes about you.
Yep. And guess what? You have to know without asking.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? If you have to ask, and now mind you, remember, we're talking about a year in. If you have to ask what she likes about you, you blew it. You blew it for her, because now she's gonna like, and think of something. No, these are the things she should have been showing you on her own, not because you asked. And so that's what we mean by that, about these things about your character. What guys try to say? They make it a joke when you say, I want her to like me for me. They make that into a joke. That's not a joke.
That's the honest truth.
Yeah, they make it so you can't be around the fellas and say, I want to like us. They say, oh no, they all like you for what you can do for them. Okay, well, so she likes you because you can do some things for her. You like her because she can do some things for you too.
Sure.
But that's not the only thing. That's when it becomes a problem, when that's the only thing. So, she'll like you for what you can do, but it's not the only thing. But I will tell you this. If the number one thing she likes about you is that you're so considerate and you're so generous, you're done, my brother. You're done.
You said something that was really interesting that made me think about some things. You said, you were talking about how you want a woman to like you for you.
Mm.
And then, you mentioned how people would say, well, no, women only want you for this and for that and for that. And it kind of turns into like a checklist.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of turns into like, well, this woman has to do this for me and this for me and this for me and this for me and that for me and that for me. And then like the same thing for the woman. This guy has to do this for me and this for me and that for me and that for me. But they never really talk about qualities that make you a good, decent person.
Nope.
Qualities that make you a good, decent husband or a wife.
Nope.
It's very curious how these lists are like so, I don't know, superficial.
Well, it's because those lists are made by people who are not in relationships.
All
these ideas,
the furus.
The furus.
Fake gurus. The gurus.
Always. All of this stuff comes from the guys, the furus who are not in relationships, or been in bad relationships or whatever. Because this stuff makes no sense. And then, this is why it's important, this is love, purpose, and passports. This is for the relationship homies.
Yeah.
This is the relationship space.
You said something also that was really good too. You said that, and I want to talk about that a little bit. You said that they're taking relationship advice from people that have had really bad experiences.
Right.
In life, you really should just take advice or kind of pattern your life after people that have done it the way you want to do it and have the outcome that you want to have. If you're patterning, is that a thing?
Mm-hmm.
If you're patterning your life through what happened, through the life of someone that had like a really bad experience and where they're at now after that bad experience, you're going to end up like that too. Like, for example, a woman shouldn't take relationship advice from a woman who was in a really bad relationship and she's very angry and she's bitter now and she might have her reasons for being that way, but she's going to tell you things through the lens of someone that is still suffering. Yep. And that's still going through something really painful and hurtful. So when they give you advice, they're going to give you the point of view of someone who doesn't want to be hurt again, who doesn't want to go through that, and who feels like that's one of the worst things that ever happened to her. So you're not going to get the advice that you need to get to where you want to go because they've never been to where you want to go.
No.
So it's the same thing with the furus. If you listen to the advice of really angry, bitter men, women, whoever, and they're doing or living the life that you don't want to live, it doesn't even make sense to listen to what they're saying.
No.
Because unless you want to end up in that space.
Exactly. It's just they make it sound so cool.
But if you want to be in that space, then
no, they make it sound
by
cool.
all means.
They make it sound. And here's the thing. Remember, a lot of these people, the people, they call them influencers. They're influencing thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people with this garbage. You know what I mean? And it's garbage. Well, I'll put it like this. It's garbage for relationship people.
Yeah.
You know, I did a video talking about how men's advice, you have to be careful who it's coming from because it sounds similar, but there are people who are giving you men's advice to make you a better single man, and there are people who are giving you men's advice to make you a better relationship man. But the problem is some of the beginning stages of the conversation sounds the same. So you'll be listening to them and what they're saying is correct at first, but you don't realize that it hits a fork in the road where now it goes over there to make you a great single man. You don't realize it because they were saying some of the same things that a relationship guy says at the beginning, you know,
right.
And that's what happens with this stuff, you know, and relationships aren't that popular right now. You have to realize that too. And we realize that we're going to keep pushing with it, but it's just not that popular. And I always say, you know, there's a lot of money being made off of relationships not being that popular. You know, the algorithm will run with it. And so, got to think about that. But as I was saying, this is why, you know, we made Love, Purpose, and Passports, and we're going to talk about it more and more, that this is a channel for relationship people. This is the place where relationship people, when people want to hear about relationship things and know that this is pro relationship, you know, the pros, Mr. Pro for you with the pro relationship. This is why we're here. We hope you enjoyed this little video. It's just a little short one, you know what I'm saying, to tell you guys about how, you know, it's important to know if she likes you. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you hate to get down the road and then you ignored the signs that were right there in your face. And so we hope that we were able to enlighten you on some of the things that you should look for and some of the things that you should take, you know, you look for, you take notice of, and recognize if these things aren't happening and move accordingly. What do you think, beautiful lady of mine?
No, I agree 100%. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated.
Nope.
We're hoping to simplify these things for you and let you know that there are a lot of people that want to be in relationships.
There are.
It's not as popular on YouTube, but there are a lot of people in relationships.
There are a lot of people in relationships. There are a lot of people that want relationships.
Yeah.
And here's the main thing too. If it doesn't go right, there's a million more women out there in case, you know, these guys tried to convince you that they weren't.
There are a lot of women in our comment section.
Yeah, the comment section is starting to get, you know, starting to get some, you know, some of the relationship chicas out in here. Yeah. Salute to the relationship chicas coming through. LPP fam. So we hope you liked it. We got another one coming soon on this relationship tip. We're going to keep it going. Pause. So you know what else we want you to do? Beside pause, we want you to like and subscribe. Love, Purpose, and Passports.
Bye.
Peace.